Everybody, welcome to Lance Anderson Coach's Show. Rod Zund, along with the head coach of Utah Tech, Lance Anderson. After a bye week, it is now homecoming week for Utah Tech. Trailblazers getting ready to tango with Southern Utah in the Battle of the Axe this Saturday, 6 o'clock at Greater Zion Stadium. And, Coach, before we go any further, this will be the last time that Southern Utah, or the word SUU, will be uttered. We love them. They're great guys down there. They're our buddies and friends. But it's just a matter of principle this week. We cannot utter their name. It's a matter of principle, Coach.
Yep, huge rivalry game. Yeah. I can definitely respect that.
That's right. They will now be termed the team 50 miles to the north, or that other Southern Utah team. So that's what we're going to do. Just got to do it, Coach. Just want to get that out of the way.
Sounds great.
Okay, 13 days ago, you lost a very good battle with third-ranked Tarleton State here in St. George. 4-point game in the third quarter, Coach. Once again, you were right there, and it's just a matter of finishing like you've trying to get accomplished the last year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, what we've got to do is just keep putting ourselves in these positions where we're competitive, we're in the game in the second half, we have a chance to win, and eventually we're going to learn how to finish. We're going to learn how to win these close games.
Okay, before we move on to talk more about Tarleton State, you had a bye week. What did you need to get accomplished, and did you get that accomplished?
I think we accomplished a number of things over the bye. Number one, I mean, at this point in the season, like most teams, we're a little banged up, a little beat up. So we were able to get some guys some rest, be able to get guys back healthy, which I think we're going to see this week. Also, it gave us a chance to really get some good practices in where we're working on technique, fundamentals. We're working on playing good physical football, working on, keeping our leverage, locking in our assignments. And we had a lot of good work there that I think will pay off this week. And then as coaches, it gives us a chance to get out and recruit a little bit, which is also important as we build the program.
Yeah, I saw some social media posts, your coaches out and about saying, hey, we're here in this town, looking for the next best.
Yes, always looking to upgrade the roster and get better. I love what we've got. We've got a young team overall, but we need to keep building that, and that's through the recruiting process.
You say that you worked on physical technical things and fundamentals, but was there one thing either psychologically, mentally, or scheme-wise that you needed to get taken care of and needed to get better last week?
The bye week gives us a chance to really look at what we've been doing on both sides of the ball, things that we've done well, things that have been effective, but things that need to get better. And so both offensively and defensively, we were able to address some of those things that we need to improve on, but also really focus in on the things that we've done well, and then how can we continue to implement these things, and emphasize the things that we've done well.
You're a little over halfway through the season. What do you like about what you have and what you've seen that first half of the season?
So something going into the season that was really big, offensively running the football better, protecting the quarterback better, and we've done those things. We need to continue to build on that, but we're moving in the right direction there. Defensively, we needed to make a huge improvement in terms of how we stop the run. Our tackling, again, still not perfect, but we are getting much better, in those areas as well. Stopping the run, being a more physical football team, being a more solid tackling team.
All right, let's take a look back at Tarleton, third-ranked team in the country. They have talent all over the place. Their starting quarterback, Vince Gabalis, did not play, and their two main running backs, but they got a lot of other guys that came in and filled the spot.
They do. The backup quarterback, Daniel, she's played 3-4 games now, and he plays very well, very talented kid. And they've got, several good skill players that are productive when they get the ball in their hands.
Okay, so let's go back and kind of, check out what happened 13 days ago in Greater Zion Stadium. Coach, this is one of your favorite plays, misdirection. A little variation here to Eric Olson in the backfield.
Yeah, this has been good where, with Reggie Graff, we do a lot of pocket movement, and just having these throwbacks to Eric Olson have been very effective for us.
This was after an interception on the first play of the game, and Reggie would finish it off with another touchdown run.
Yeah, this was a great way to start. A takeaway by our defense to start the game, and then offense immediately converts it into a touchdown.
All right, Coach, you were able to move the ball. Bronson Barbin got the start once again at quarterback and by Shamar Garrett.
Yeah, Shamar had a solid game as well. A number of big catches for us, including this one right down the middle of the field.
And then Barbin goes to the favorite target, Eric Olson. Yeah, and you put a big tight end out wide and getting him to move.
We're able to do a number of things with Eric. Just his size and athletic ability creates some mismatches.
You talked about your running game with Asa.
Yeah, Ace has been really solid this year. Had some productive runs along with Chris Street against Tarleton.
You couldn't get in the end zone. You had to settle for a field goal. Now, final moments of the first half, another 2-minute offense. Barbin to Garrett again. And that just started things on another good drive at the end of half.
Yep, exactly. Able to get points there at the end of the first half.
And then Olsen again. But again, you had to settle for a field goal at the end of the half. You only trailed by 7 at the break. And then, Coach, you got the ball to open up the second half, and you went right to work. And this is what you're supposed to do coming out with the ball. You hit Talik Brown, and that got us started.
Yeah, we've done that a number of times this year where we've been able to score at the end of the first half, come right back in the second half, put points on the board. And, I mean, that's going to pay off for us at some point this year if you can win that middle part of the game.
Reggie to Eric again, then Barbin to the other tight end, Caden Eggett.
Yeah, Caden's had some key plays for us this year as well.
But again, he ended in a field goal, and it was cut down to a 4-point game. You were right there. Fourth quarter, they'd stretched the lead a little bit, but Chris Street came in. He ran hard. Back-to-back plays right here.
He did. Cut a couple of big gains for us in the fourth quarter, ran the ball hard.
And he just kept going. He wouldn't go down on the first hit.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then that would set up this late in the fourth quarter. Bronson Barbin finding a streaking Daniel Tomlinson down the sideline. Perfect throw, great catch.
Yeah, we knew that, I mean, with as much man coverage as Tarleton played, we'd have some one-on-one opportunities on the outside, and this is just a great winning effort, great catch by Daniel Thomason.
So, Coach, you may be one of the better teams in the country in 2-minute drills at the end of the first half. You seem to be successful in the 2-minute drills going into halftime. Why is that?
You know, I can't tell you exactly, but it's obviously something we practice all the time. But it's interesting that we have been very effective at the end of the first half and maybe not quite as effective at the end of the game. So we just need to keep working. But it's been great to get those points at the end of the first half and then come out in several games and put points on the board early in the third quarter as well.
You had some very nice sustainable drives, but they ended up in field goals rather than touchdowns. Ilya Uvedov, 3 field goals, a career high. I believe it's the first time a kicker in Division I history's had 3 in one game. So, again, it comes back to finishing. You change those, and that's 4, 8, 12 points that you have right there. It's a whole different ballgame.
That makes a big difference in the game. Yeah, I think Ilya Uvedov is a very, efficient kicker, does a great job for us, but we'd rather have him kicking extra points than field goals.
You like him, but you don't want to give him many opportunities
we'd
it's
rather have
the
those touchdowns.
Variety,
That's
right?
exactly right.
From close range on the extra point. All right, defense, first stat, you gave up 262 yards rushing. You talked about that, that you need to do better against the run, which you have done this year, but they kind of took it to you a little bit on the ground.
Yeah, we did not tackle as well as we needed to. I mean, I think we limited them to the fewest explosive plays they've had in a game so far this year, but obviously it was not good enough to win.
Tarleton had 2 drives over 8 minutes each, a 98-yard drive and then a 66-yard drive. Over 9-minute drive for only 66 yards. How does that happen?
I mean, they are very effective at running the football, and then their RPO scheme where they just kept that clock going. And on those drives, they converted a number of either third downs or on the one drive, I think 3 fourth downs. Yeah. And that's why we've got to do a better job going back, like you said, the run, especially on first and second down, so they don't have all these, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 4th and 2, 4th and 1. Yeah. We need to get teams into longer yardage situations.
But Coach, you take away those 2 long drives, that's about 160 yards or so, and 17 minutes where they take away the snaps from you. Take away those 2 drives, and your defense, the stats, the numbers, and you feel a lot better about yourself.
Exactly, and it's as simple as getting a couple of those 3rd or 4th down stops. Sounds simple. Again, it's not that easy against a good team, but just something that's what we've got to do to get the results we want.
Yeah, as we take a look at the highlights for the first time this season, defense didn't pick up a sack. They're still top 20 in the country in sacks. But first play of the game, you got an interception, 1 of 2 turnovers.
This is a great way to start the game, and especially like we talked about, the offense going down and immediately scoring really created some momentum right there at the beginning of the game.
Devin Perkins now an interception in back-to-back weeks. Couple players getting and making most of their playing time. Freshman Brandon Jackson stuffed the middle right there.
Yeah, tackle for loss. I mean, Brandon's getting more and more snaps, and he's really coming along as a defensive lineman for us.
Then another freshman, Nash Cooper, getting some playing time.
Yeah, with some of the injuries we've had, Nash has stepped up and has had a couple productive games in a row for us.
And here's the other turnover. Slipped away from Justin Houston right there, but DeJuan Robinson, who kind of had a baptism by fire the previous week at corner. Comes and makes a great strip and fumble recovery.
Yeah, and DeJuan Robinson, another freshman who's still learning, but with some of the injuries, he's stepped up and had a really solid game for us against Tarleton.
Talked about getting a fourth down stop. Here's the one that you stopped them on late in the game. Haleman Galway, great, picture perfect way to break that up.
Yeah, great pass break up there. And again, that was a critical situation where it's still a 4-point game. We take over with a chance to go down and take the lead late in the third quarter.
I still go back to it. Over 17 minutes on 2 drives. And they got 160 yards. That was the difference in the ball game.
Yeah. You never know exactly what play or what drive may decide the football game. That's why you've got to play every single snap because you never know which one might make the difference.
All right. We are going to take our first time out here on the Lance Anderson Coaches Show. When we come back, a couple of players that had a nice game 13 days ago and is having some fantastic seasons as well. That's when the Lance Anderson Coaches Show comes back.
Welcome to Utah Tech University. From classrooms to cliffs and lectures to lakes. Here, we celebrate active learning, active life. Our Trailblazers learn by doing, are career ready, and solve real problems with real partners to meet community needs. Here, students get the full college experience and choose from 300 affordable academic programs. All in one of the most stunning destinations on Earth. With this as your backyard, life is just as active as your education. Come experience active learning, active life at Utah Tech University.
All right, back here on the Lance Anderson Coaches Show. Pleased to be joined by a couple of Trailblazer players. Dalen Love, freshman, a linebacker from San Jacinto, California, and Ryan Marks, a junior punter from Farmington, Utah. Gentlemen, thank you. Okay, so you're just coming off a bye week. Now, I'm not going to talk to you about injuries, punter, and being hit and get the nicks healed up. But what about you? How'd the bye week work for you?
The bye week was great. It was a great opportunity to just take mental reps and just rest my body.
Yeah, and you transferred, Ryan Marks, from Utah State. You started a few games there, and you are averaging, nearly 45 yards a kick. That's second in the conference, 15th best in the country. You had a 49-yard average versus Tarleton. That's second best in the school's D1 era. In fact, you had a 53-yard average per kick against Northern Iowa. That's second best single game average in school. So you haven't played a lot of games. You already have 2 of the top 5 average in single games.
It's been awesome. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to do it. So,
yeah, talk about your decision, Ryan, to transfer from Utah State and come to Utah Tech as a punter.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think when I was up at Utah State, there was a lot of different coaching staff changes up there that happened, and me and my wife, when we were kind of after the season, were looking, be like, okay, I think it's time to look for other opportunities elsewhere. And when we came down on our visit in December, the coaching staff was awesome. We loved being down here, and it was one of those decisions that it was kind of a no-brainer for us.
As we take a look at your highlights, not only you're a punter, but Coach, he's a perfect 1-for-1 and a first down throwing the football.
I don't know if I want it to get out there, but Ryan does a pretty good job throwing the football. So
yeah. Now this is a punt that you had at Idaho, and here comes the fake punt. Look at the spiral on it, Dalen. Not a bad spiral for a punter, huh?
Very good. It's very good.
Talk about that. How often have you worked on that in practice?
It's usually a daily thing. We always throw that in there in our punt scheme, and we usually try to have something always in the bag to be able to pull out when we need it. So, and it worked out perfectly for us against Idaho. So.
Well, you got a 4-string quarterback, don't you?
We certainly do. And like Ryan said, you love to always have a punt fake, in the bag in case you need it. And it's even better, when you have a punter who can throw the ball, which doesn't happen very often, that really expands what you can do in terms of fake punts. And again, I don't want it out there too much, but Ryan is very capable of throwing the football.
Okay, we didn't just see that.
No.
They can't go back and look at the film. All right, Dalen Love, as a freshman, you got put in the fire real quickly, and you got 3 sacks this year, second on the team to Dallin Havea. So just talk about your progression and how quickly you've adapted to college football.
Well, when I got here, it was very hard at first, but as like the time came along, the team just like welcomed me in and just like open arms. It just took me in. They taught me, like older dudes taught me like just the ins and outs of like college football, and it was great.
Yeah. An outsider looking in and watching you play, you don't play like a freshman. Do you feel like you've passed being a freshman and you've got a lot of experience and you're into it now?
Yeah, I feel like I'm more like locked in now, like more. I'm seeing the plays develop more and just like, yeah, playing fast.
And Coach, on those same lines, as a freshman, you come in and being out of position a lot, but you don't see that with Dalen.
No, he's done a great job, and he just keeps getting better and better. You see his athletic ability, his ability to make plays, and there is still a lot that he's learning, but he's getting better and better each week.
Dalen, what was your reasoning for coming to Utah Tech and choosing the Trailblazers?
When I got here on my visit, I really liked the area. It was quiet. It's very different from like where I'm from. So it was very good. And then the players I met, the coaches, it was all great.
Yeah. And Coach, what excited you about, you're a defensive guy, excited you about Dalen Love coming saying, okay, this is going to be one of my linebacker guys?
Well, so our offensive line coach last year, Dorian Keller, he was recruiting Dalen's area. And so after he'd been out and visited San Jacinto High School, he brought back Dalen's film, had me watch his film. And I was just very impressed just with Dalen's length, how well he runs, how athletic he is. And I just knew he could play any of the 4 linebacker positions in our defense. And boy, he's developed really fast and has been super productive for us this year.
And Dalen, he said that they were recruiting the area and brought you back. Had you even thought about Utah Tech? Did you even know where St. George was?
I knew where it was because one of my teammates, like in previous years, that came here, PJ, he had came here and he said it was great. So
yeah.
All
right, we heard from you, Ryan, about your wife. Tell us a little about where you grew up and family life and where you're at now.
Yeah, of course. So I'm from Farmington, Utah. So grew up with 3 brothers, so very competitive household. We all played sports, and I know it was amazing. And I ended up meeting my wife when we ended up reconnecting when we were back up at Utah State. So it's kind of a crazy story, but it was.
Well, if he says it's a crazy story and doesn't tell us, then how can we believe him? You got to tell us the crazy story.
Well, so we grew up in the same neighborhood growing up, and they moved around to a couple different places and ended up in Logan. And when I came home from a mission, I didn't have a place to stay up in Logan for the first couple months. Mm-hmm. So my parents actually called then and was like, hey, like, do you guys have an extra room to stay at? So I lived with her parents for 2 or 3 months when I first was up in Logan. And then we were best friends for 2 or 3 years, and then things kind of blossomed from there. So
you got in good with the parents first.
Yep.
Coach, he's a smart punter, isn't he?
Yes, very smart. Very smart.
All right, Dalen?
What was it again?
The question was, tell us about where you grew up and family life and all that kind of stuff.
I grew up in San Bernardino, California. I have 5 brothers. Very, very aggressive, competitive.
Where do you fit in?
I'm like the middle. I have 2 younger and 3 older ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just nice.
And were they all into sports as
no,
well?
all of us are, yeah.
So you had like Ryan.
Yeah, competitive.
Things in the yard, huh?
Every day, yeah, every day.
And Coach, when we hear some of the players saying, I grew up with brothers or sisters that were always competitive, you can tell that they have a competitive edge when they have those kind of families, right?
I think it does. I mean, as you grow up, playing sports, competing against friends or siblings, I mean, yeah, that kind of molds you and shapes you into the person you are and the kind of athlete that you are.
All right. You ready for the rivalry week, you two?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's your first time playing that team from the north, 50 miles. Now, you had some rivalry games when you were at Utah State, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had, did you ever get to play Utah when you were there?
I did.
Yeah, so you know what it's about. Got a little extra something, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
All right, we're going to take a look at that team from 50 miles to the north of us and kind of get a scouting report, talk more about the Battle of the Axe game. That's when the Lance Anderson Coaches Show comes back.
Utah Tech University. From classrooms to cliffs and lectures to lakes. Here, we celebrate active learning, active life. Our Trailblazers learn by doing, are career ready, and solve real problems with real partners to meet community needs. Here, students get the full college experience and choose from 300 affordable academic programs. All in one of the most stunning destinations on Earth. With this as your backyard, life is just as active as your education. Come experience active learning, active life at Utah Tech University.
All right, back on the Lance Anderson Coaches Show with the head coach and freshman linebacker Dalen Love, who had a career-high 12 tackles against Tarleton State 13 days ago, and junior punter Ryan Marks. All right, Coach, this Saturday, 6 o'clock, Greater Zion Stadium, it's the Battle of the Axe. Utah Tech and that team 50 miles to the north of us. This is one of those games where there's just a little something in the air this week, and it's homecoming to boot.
Exactly. Homecoming and just the nature of the way that team up north plays. I mean, they are a physical team, both on defense, offense, offensive line, tight ends. They want to run the football. So it's going to be a physical battle on a Saturday night.
Dalen, this is your first experience in any kind of rivalry here at Utah Tech or in college football. Has some of the guys that have been a part of this, have they kind of told you, especially, Coach, last year, double overtime, 37-34 loss at Southern Utah?
They just told me that, like, we got to get it back this year. This year has to be the year that we just make the change and just defeat them.
And Ryan, field position is always a key component, especially in a heated rivalry game right there. So a lot's going to be dependent on how well you kick, and also Uvedo as well. So just talk about, as a punter, what's your mentality, because you can't go out and hit somebody unless it's a tackle, and you don't want to have to make a tackle on a punt coverage team.
Definitely not. But I think for us, as a special teams unit, we are trying to take advantage of all the opportunities we have. I think that for us, it's helping get the offense out of sticky situations and put the defense in spots where they're able to make stops. And for us as specialists, that's our job, to put points on the board and to help control big chunks of field position. So,
Coach, when you look at this team, it all starts with their running back, Joshua Dye, transfer out of UTEP, top 3 or 4 in the country in rushing touchdowns, yards per game, and total rushing yards.
He might be the best running back we'll play all season long. He's athletic. He runs very well. Fast. He's twitchy. He'll make guys miss. So, I mean, stopping the run is a huge priority for us this week.
He was bottled up to only 43 yards in the first half last week against Abilene Christian, but then busted off and finished with almost 170 yards.
Yeah, he's capable of big, explosive runs, which that's definitely what we need to limit.
But they can throw the ball as well. Bronson Barron, that's going to be tough. Bronson Barban and Bronson Barron to keep separate here. He can also throw. He's over 230 yards a game rushing or passing.
He's been very effective throwing the football. He's athletic. He can buy time with his legs. He's a good football player.
And their defense forced 4 turnovers on Abilene Christian, 3 interceptions, fumble return, recovery. One of those a pick six you saw right there.
Yeah, I think that was really the difference in the game last week, or just the turnovers. And I mean, we all know that obviously is something that really affects the outcome of football games. So we got to win that turnover battle this week.
That team 50 miles to the north, they are 2-5 overall. They picked up their first conference win Saturday in Cedar City against Abilene Christian. The Wildcats, they were ranked 13th in the country, and with the help of those turnovers and a big day by Joshua Dye, they were able to get the upset win. So Dalen Love is linebacker. When you look at that, and you look at the guy like Joshua Dye that's top 5 in the country in all the rushing categories, that's a challenge that you guys got to step up to.
Yeah, we just got to all play together, do our job, and just rally to the ball. Everybody just keep their leverage and just bring them down.
When you got a guy that's dynamic, because they have a good quarterback too, you can't just focus on him, but when they have a guy that is so dynamic and getting a lot of hype like Dye, the running back, is that in the forefront of your mind saying, okay, I got to know where he is the entire game, and you kind of have to spy a little bit?
Yeah, like you keep like tabs in the back of your mind, like in the game, but you just gotta trust that like your teammates will do their job and just like everything will be good.
And Coach, as a defensive guy, when you have a guy like Dye that's dynamic and really, really good, do you like to tell him and say you make sure you know where he's at every time? Do you have a specific spy to go with him anywhere he is on the field?
You know, obviously you want to design defenses that are going to be strong against their blocking schemes, their run game. And so we're trying to make sure we do that this week. But I think like Dalen really hit the nail on the head there. Is like what it requires though is just everybody doing their job.
Yeah.
Everybody keeping their leverage, playing in their gap, being able to get off blocks and make tackles. And like he said, we got to just swarm to the football to be able to get him down.
Guys, is this just another week, or are you going to tell us that? Or can you sense something special already? Not just homecoming, but against a rival. Dalen?
I think it's a special week. I believe that there's going to be a great opportunity. Just go out and just display Utah Tech football.
Ryan?
I definitely think we'll treat the preparation the same. We're preparing week after week for teams that come up, but I think at the end of the day, there's always something special in there about a rivalry game.
How difficult is it not to get hyped up and too excited too soon or too early in the week?
It's very difficult because like you're just itching for the game to come, and you just gotta prepare for it.
And Coach, how do you keep it an even keel so on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday they're not wearing themselves out with too much hype?
Ryan really, his comments really reflect the way I feel. Like, yeah, we want to keep our preparation, everything that we do, the way we practice, the way we meet, the way we prepare, the same, that we kind of stay in that same routine. But like Dalen alluded to, just with homecoming week, with the rivalry game, there's just a lot of other outside noise and things going on. But we've got to do a great job of just controlling that and just focusing on our preparation and make sure we go through our normal process of being ready to play on Saturday night.
I've never asked you this, but it's kind of relevant here. You talk about just keeping even keel and just prepare the same way. Okay, when do you put that aside, and when does the foam start coming out of the mouth and the gnashing of teeth and the fire in their eyes? When do you want that to appear?
Once we kick the game off.
Okay, so 5:59 Saturday night.
That's right. That's right.
You okay with that, guys? Oh yeah. Okay, don't foam at the mouth until 5:59 on Saturday night. All right. All right. Okay, it's a big week here. Got a lot of activities going on for homecoming. They have a parade at 10 o'clock, University Avenue on Saturday morning, and then Trailblazer Village and the tailgate party will get underway at 3:30 at the Atwood Innovation Plaza across from the stadium. Our pregame coverage begins at 5 o'clock here on Trailblazer Sports Vision on YouTube and the Fan Sports Radio Network, and we'll kick it off, and the mouth will start foaming and the gnashing of teeth and the fire will be coming out of the eyes at 5:59, right at kickoff, 6 o'clock kickoff. Should be a fun week, guys. Let's bring that axe back to St. George from that team from up north, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Ryan Marks, punter. Dalen Love, linebacker, thanks for joining us, and have a great week, and get after it on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on Saturday. All right, that's it for the Lance Anderson Coaches Show. Battle for the Axe, Saturday, 5 o'clock pregame, 6 o'clock kickoff in Greater Zion Stadium. Should be a fun week. We'll see you.